the UFC has mastered the live show.
So good.
Unbelievable. And what I mean by that is, here's the perfect example. Al, you've been to a boxing match before?
Yeah.
Live fight?
Yeah.
Let's say you go on a Floyd Mayweather fight. When do the famous people come?
Right before the main event. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is what I was looking at when I was there. I was like, when are the famous people going to get in here and sit down? Because famous people for boxing matches, they just come for Floyd.
Yeah.
They just come maybe for the last two if the last two are big fights, but rarely.
But they want everybody to see them coming in.
Exactly. They want to see them, you wearing the crazy outfits, etc. You get caught. The famous people are here for the entire main card. Not just the last two fights. Probably the last like 4 fights.
Yeah.
Or 5 fights.
Mike Tyson.
Dwayne
Wade.
They had the Nelk boys in there.
Yeah.
They
Mark
had
Wahlberg.
Johnny Knoxville, Mark Wahlberg. I mean, it was, all of them were there. This whole section for them is there, and it's fucking ram-packed for the whole main card. And I'm looking around, and we were all talking, and we're like, what is going on here? There wasn't a second of distraction. They had light show going on. They had music constantly. The music was good. It wasn't bullshit. Like, you felt like you were at a concert.
I think they had a DJ, like a live DJ that was in the back, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, he didn't have a booth where you saw him, but he was paying attention enough to like the people that he was entertaining. And the whole experience was fucking unreal. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is what you get when you have one institution controlling it. Back in the day, when the fights were on HBO or Showtime, there was different promoters that would end up doing those fights. Sometimes it was promoted at Don King. Sometimes it was Bob Arum. And they were in partnership with HBO. But it's harder to be consistent in the production you put out if you don't know what that producer wants to cough up for that production. When you are the UFC, you control every dollar coming in and out. And they have invested in making that live show a fucking unbelievable experience. And I mean, it was just so good, dude. It was just so good through and through. As someone who performs live for a living, I look at other live performances and I'm like, how are they going to keep these people entertained? It was amazing. Like, you didn't want, dude, watching a basketball game sucks compared to it. Sucks. Like, I can't wait to leave and get a drink or something when I'm watching a basketball game, as long as it's not the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is boring, like, whatever. Like, unless it's a super heated playoff game or something. This was nonstop distraction, stimulus, and it was the best live event in the fight game that I've seen.
It's funny you say that, because even watching, I had to tape the games because I was editing this weekend, the playoff games. Even watching, I was like, let's just fast forward to the fucking fourth quarter. Let's just go.
And
like,
football is masterful.
and I'm 30 seconds ahead okay, there's a play. Let's go. I don't need to hear commentary.
Yeah.
And football
You're
is
right, like, yeah.
the most exciting to
Yeah.
watch on TV.
You
It's the
red
best
zoned it
TV.
yourself.
Yeah, I was like, let's just get to... and the games were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's 2 quarters. Do I really need to watch the first half? I was like, eh.
Yeah.
And UFC, you're going to sit for the whole thing. And I was curious as you were talking, what would Mike Tyson say about a UFC live event versus a boxing live
Interesting.
event? I would actually like to hear, as a fucking boxing fanatic that he is, is he still more entertained by UFC? If so, why?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. We got to get him on and ask him.
And I don't know, again, outsider, I think UFC, it seems like they do a great job of hyping up the undercards that were good fights. And I think boxing tries, but UFC seems to successfully do it. Like,
But it's hard because you're not as invested in those people because you might not promote them. And oftentimes with boxing, it's 2 promoters working together. So each promoter has this list of fighters. Neither one of them wants to see them lose, because 1 loss in boxing is the equivalent of like 10 losses in UFC, right? So it's like, why would they work together to make sure it's a good fight? So then the other person that you get is some tomato can that your guy can beat up, and then it's boring. Every one of these UFC fights is competitive.
Right.
They know if they put on a good showing that they'll be back out there. And the UFC is invested in promoting every single one of their fighters that they have under contract.
yeah, and even if you lose, if you fight your ass off, if you're valiant, then you'll get
We'll watch
love.
you
It'll be like a
again.
win. It'll be an emotional win.
100%.
Huh.
Dude, it was... Yeah, I mean, what did you think, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, insane. Like, you're captivated the whole time. We were there for, what, 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah.
And there's only, like, an hour of action.
Yep.
Like, altogether between all the fights and all the rounds.
Yeah.
So it has, like, this really great capability of, like, you're sitting there, like, you can kind of hang in between.
Yeah.
Like, there's something to watch, so you don't have to necessarily talk. You can, like, network.
Yeah.
And then the fight starts, and it's just locked in.
Yeah.
Watching the most intense, like, melee.
Yeah.
And then it just breaks up throughout the night. It's really awesome. And then the fans in Anaheim specifically were great.
Listen, if it's a professional fight that doesn't have Mexicans,
Boo.
don't even go. After you're in an arena full of Mexican fans, dude, this is what like soccer fans must get in Europe. Like that kind of like love,
Bro,
connectivity.
fucking South America, you like that. Maybe the most insane fan base of any
It's
sport
just
ever.
the best.
Yeah.
So much fucking love. So much passion. Si se puede. You can do it. There's one of the fighters' names was Brandon Moreno.
yeah.
So an entire arena full of Mexicans is screaming, "Let's go, Brandon!" Right? And it's just the only time that happens. There's zero politics involved. Like it was just like the energy was fucking unreal, man. You need Mexicans or like a culturally in sync group of people that is just so fucking fervent as a fan.
Yeah.
As like a fan base for a fight. I'm sure like Filipinos are the same way with Manny Pacquiao or like Puerto Ricans when it was boxing, but like that just makes it so much more special.
Right.
Like go.
Speaking of that, like, how would you compare it to the lucha libre?
Ooh, interesting.
That was
yeah.
entertaining the whole way through.
I mean, it's similar vibe, but like there's just way higher stakes.
Yes.
You know, like you watch Lucha Libre, like just being able to sit back in a chair, like, oh wow, this is fun.
Lucha Libre, for everybody who's listening, that is the like WWE, but in Mexico.
Yeah, and we went for
Yeah.
Andrew's bachelor parties. One event I didn't leave early.
But yeah, that is great. Wait, oh yeah, you
The one
go
event
to-
I didn't leave early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you watch it and it's like, oh yeah, I can just sit back and enjoy like this almost like soap opera type thing.
Yeah.
It's like a TV novella. But then if you go to a UFC fight, it's like you can't look away.
It's
I don't
Lucha
even know
Li-
anyone's.
Yeah, it's literally Lucha Libre if they could become bloody and unconscious. Like Lucha Libre has to do
Unscripted.
Yeah, it's unscripted. It's like Lucha Libre has to do these like really cool theatrical stunts.
Yeah.
They have choreographed pieces.
Yeah,
within
exactly.
A wrestling match.
It's dance in
Yeah.
a lot of ways, like this crazy gymnastics. And we would get really excited, I think, based on the level of difficulty of those tricks.
And that's the stakes.
And those are the
And
stakes.
people have famously died, like La Parca died doing a stunt in an actual match.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jesus
Christ.
I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit.
And so that's the stakes you're watching for.
Exactly. And now those stakes are baked into every interaction.
Yeah.
But it's just, they fucking get it, dude. And it was one of those things where like Mark and I are sitting there, we're watching it, and like all we're thinking is like, oh, how can we incorporate this into, how can we make our shows as entertaining through and through?
Yeah.
You know, what can we, and dude, one of the coolest things, I'm hyped right now on this, but one of the coolest things was really interesting. We're watching it, right?
How are the seats? Does it matter?
Phenomenal. They did a great job.
amazing.
They did a great job. And we're sitting, we're watching it, and we look left. Now, if you're watching the octagon right here, we look left, and there's the door to leave the arena, right? And through the door, you see an ambulance. It is the first thing outside the door. And it's not left there like intentionally to like scare people watching, of course. It just so happened that it was right there when we looked over, but it's this beautiful reminder of the carnage that exists in the ring. Like
And the stakes.
in the stakes, it's like, this is so dangerous. The ambulance needs to be right outside the door.
Right.
Because if something bad happens, every second counts.
Right.
And I think they should do that shit on purpose. Dude. Like, it's just beautiful reminder. Like, this shit ain't a game.
Yeah.
Like, you think it's a game, everybody's talking all that shit, you think it's WWE, there's a fucking ambulance there.
Yeah.
And somebody's leaving a stretcher.
My favorite part of the fight was that it wasn't any of the fighters, wasn't any like anything that happened in the octagon. It was that one person had a better seat than you.
Oh, yeah.
So
Shouts to
great.
fucking Shane Gillis, man.
Bro, this shit made me so happy.
Yo. Dude. So I hope he talks about it on his podcast, but it was so funny. So I've rolled deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I roll deep no matter what, because I am very grateful. Like, you know, where I am in this business is a product of everybody's work, right? So I want everybody to experience these things, right? But I was so fucking tight. So I told Joe, right? I told Rogan, I was like, yo, we're going to the fight. We'll see you there. And he goes, yo, do you need me to get you seats? And I was like, well, the UFC reached out and they want to get seats, and I don't want to, what is it, like bite the hand that feeds you, that kind of
Be
thing.
disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful. I
Seem
thought it was really
ungrateful.
nice for them to offer seats. You know what I mean? And we're coming through with 5 people, so it's nice of them to put it up. But then I hit him. I was like, I mean, but do you think yours are going to be better? Right now, what he says to me, he goes, I'm sure they'll be in the same area. And I was like, okay, cool.
You can't question that. Even if that sounds like there's going to be better seats than mine, you can't be like, yeah, but are they going to be better than my specific row? Then you seem like a dick, bro.
Yeah.
They give us 5 seats. We have 2 on the floor.
Right.
And then there's 3 up on the, like, perfect. It's like section 208, but it's actually like the middle. It's like center court if you're at the basketball court and looking right in the ring. It's awesome.
yeah.
Objectively better seat at 208.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was. Like I went and watched a few fights with you guys there, and I was like, this is a much better viewing line, etc.
It's right behind like all the VIP people, like all the announcers.
You're looking at Johnny Knoxville's
Rogan.
head. You're looking at Tyson's head. You're looking at everybody come in. It was fucking great.
On the floor, we were looking up half the time at the screens.
At the screen. Yeah, it is. Just because of the angle and everything. Now, the energy on the floor is really cool. You're walking right up to the gate. You're saying hi to Bruce Buffer right at the gate. You know, Rogan, DC, they're right there. You're saying what's up. It's awesome. But I saw fucking Shane. I'm like, this motherfucker. Shane is like basically coaching the fighters. Like Shane could spit into the ring from his chair. 100%. Like if he laughed hard drinking a Bud Light, he would spit the Bud Light on the fighters 100%.
That
right?
makes me so
and
happy.
I didn't know where he was. I was like, because Rogan said he was there. I was like, yo, where are you? And then I just saw his dumb head fucking pop up. His literally pops up from like right behind one of the cameras. Like he's so close. Yeah. He's so close. And I was like, this motherfucker, dude. I should have taken the goddamn tickets from Joe. I walk up to go say hi. I go up. I'm like, yo, come to the banister. I walk up. He walks over and a security guard goes, sir, you can't bother the people on this side of the
Bro, Shane, we all kind of
So
dressed
I was
up.
furious,
We
bro.
dressed up. Shane's wearing like a hoodie and like a Pennsylvania Shipping Solutions hat. Like literally, like he looks like he's there to fix the ring.
That's the best, dude.
So yeah, the fence
What a
broke
hero.
a little bit.
Dude, it was so funny. And I hope he talks about this on his pod, but like the night before, he got to hang out with Nate Diaz and his boys.
Oh,
like they
shit.
just went out.
Oh, shit.
I hope he talks
Oh,
about
he
it.
probably
Pod.
fit in perfectly.
Bro, the stories are hilarious. The stories are fucking hilarious. But I hope he talks about it. And then we went and grabbed some dinner afterwards. That was fun. And then I drank too much red wine and I just violently vomited at an airport bathroom for fucking.
Yeah, what?
So
15
all I
minutes.
know is we were trying to set up a Zoom call to meet about what we're going to talk about today. And then Andrew goes, I just threw up everywhere in the airport bathroom. And then I talked to him an hour later and he's like, yeah, there was literally vomit coming out of the sides of the stall into the other stalls.
It's like The
That's how much I
Shining,
threw up.
dude.
Real
Just
tough.
fucking red rum
Yeah,
flying
dude.
It was-
out of the elevator.
It really was. It was pure red, a little bits of broccoli, projectile vomiting, right? And I understand why people like put their face right over the toilet because like I was vomiting from a standing position, so it was just going
What the
everywhere.
fuck did you think was going to happen,
I
bro?
thought I could. I don't know. I have a penis. I pee directly in it, but it came out like a girl's pussy. Like it was just like how girls pee. It just splattered everywhere. I saw both shoes on either sides of the stalls next to me. Sea-walk out of the way. 100%. I was vomiting all over both of their feet.
Oh
and
my
the beautiful
God.
thing about throwing up on someone is they can't attack you because they'll just get even more throw up on you.
Yeah.
So I just stood there fucking throwing up. I ate some bread. Vala got me a bagel and some toast, and I rallied and I got onto that
Jesus
flight.
Christ.
And
Yeah.
then you took a 6-hour flight.
And then I took a 6-hour flight.
That was before the flight.
Right before the
Oh,
flight.
shit.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. Yeah, it was absolutely brutal. Yeah.
What was the fight of the night, by the way?
The actual fight of the night or our pick?
Our pick, right?
Yeah. I am curious about Francis, too, because he's a homie, and I heard he wasn't supposed to win, and he won.
Yeah, the Francis Gane fight was really.
I
wasn't the
literally
fight of the
just
night.
read Twitter, and then people
Yeah.
were like, oh, he won. And I was like, okay, bet.
Yeah, he won. I thought he won on points. I thought Gane was really good, but what Francis did is, and I didn't realize this, is that he had this element, but he basically just took him down. Like he was getting outstruck, and then he just said, "I'm bigger than you."
Yeah. I did not exceed like, oh yeah, Francis is gonna wrestle the wrestler. Like Gane has a wrestling like martial arts background.
I think he would do like Muay Thai.
Yeah,
I think he had like
exactly.
Muay Thai fights and that
So
kind
like
of
if
stuff.
I'm going to the ground, I don't want to go to the ground with this guy. But
Yeah.
Francis goes, I don't care.
Bro.
And just leans on him.
Leans on him and just. I mean, it was really interesting to see him switch that gear. And it was funny because like the day before, there's a video came out with DC. You know DC,
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier is like always teasing the fighters when he's always like pretends to wrestle. Like he's like a real gym dude. You can
Yeah.
tell. You know, it's like you ever go to the boxing gym and a guy starts like shadow boxing for you. Like that's just their communication skills or whatever. And he did that, and then Francis kind of like blocked the takedown, and DC's like, oh, he's a wrestler now. He's a wrestler now. And then literally the next day, wrestling is what wins him that fight.
Huh. That's
And
dope.
this is an interesting thing because he's the UFC champ without any contract to fight anymore.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So we could see the UFC not renew his contract, and then a UFC champ get stripped of their title for nothing more than not being able to have more fights on a contract.
Yeah.
So he technically didn't really lose it in the ring. So even if he's not fighting anymore, that's still the real UFC champ,
Oh, wow.
and he wants to box.
Yeah.
He wants the big money fight
yeah,
with Tyson
of course.
Fury. And And of course, the UFC is going, I don't want to let my fighters be able to just go box whenever they want, because if I give them that contract, then they're all going to ask for the same thing.
Right.
Now, I'm sure, just like what happened with Floyd, and Conor, I'm sure if they made a big money fight and the UFC got a piece of that, a significant piece, which is what happened with Conor, that they could work something out. But there was a lot of stakes on this fight.
Yeah.
He loses, he has no negotiation.
Leverage gone.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But he did the damn thing.
He did the fucking damn
He
thing.
is like, I mean, he's just got to be pound for pound like the baddest man on the planet.
Undeniable, right?
Like insane power, size, reach, like fight IQ was good.
Yeah.
Like, is there,
Fought with a torn MCL completely
Oh, yeah.
and
Holy
strained
shit.
ACL. Happened a few weeks ago, and he's like, I don't want to pull out of the fight. And I noticed, I saw him wearing these like knee things.
Yeah.
And I thought something was really smart. If you hurt one of your knees,
Yeah.
if you hurt one of your knees and you put a knee brace on just one, if
Oh,
I'm
that guy's
fighting
gonna go
you,
after that knee.
I'm attacking that knee. If you hurt one of your knees and put them on both, I'm going, yeah, maybe his knees are sore from training, but there's not actual significant damage to one of them. And even then, you might forget even during the fight which one it is.
Fuck.
So I thought that was a pretty smart tactic,
What a hoss, dude.
right?
Yeah.
And then it was insane watching that fight directly after Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
Like going from super heavyweight, biggest guys in the fucking, institution to like from the smallest guys to the biggest guys.
Yeah.
Like seeing the fight style change.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. And I'm curious to see what happens. I hope that he is able to fight Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I think a knockout would have really propelled that fight further, but I would love to see.
We love Francis, but does he have any chance against Tyson Fury boxing?
I want to say no.
The one that didn't you call Tyson Fury the greatest heavyweight ever?
I think.
And Francis Ngannou is going to
But you've
win.
never seen Francis Ngannou fight.
I've also
in a
never
boxing
seen
ring.
Francis Ngannou fight.
Okay.
You know, it was interesting. Ben Uyeda had an interesting story. Our buddy Ben, we talk about on his podcast a lot. We love Ben. He came with us and he posted on his story, of the 7 billion people on the planet, these two guys are the best at fighting.
That's crazy.
Or like the most dominant fighter, something like that. Like can beat up those two guys in the ring that we saw, of all the human beings on the planet, can fuck up the most people.
Every single one.
Now,
That's pretty crazy.
Val was saying he was going to put John Jones in there.
But we don't know. John Jones has never fought at heavyweight.
He says John Jones could take both of them.
He says it, but so far we don't know. And like we saw with Izzy when he went up in weight and fought Jan, and like we've seen so many times when boxers go up in weight, it is difficult.
Yeah.
It is it doesn't matter how incredibly nobody's more technically skilled than Izzy.
Yeah.
But there's a certain point in time where 40 pounds.
It's exactly what you said Francis did to Gane. That's what happened to Izzy. The guy just leaned on him.
40 pounds is 40 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was pretty.
If John
wild.
Jones came back, would Francis not go box? And would he be like, all right, here's a super fight. I can make my money here?
I think the big money fight is Tyson Fury. And I hope that they work it out. It'll just be fun for the fans. I think the thing that they need to do is make sure it's less rounds. 8 rounds.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
12 is crazy.
12 is crazy. 12 is
Yeah, it's
absolutely
not even going to
crazy.
be fun. 8 rounds of heavyweights, even if one of them can't fight, they're just fucking slugging each other. That'd be fun.
I think that's what we might see. I think when there's less rounds, you have far more time to exhaust your cardio
Yeah.
because you're not worrying about carrying it out.
Right.
But you're not saving something.
Yeah.
Right? Like a 6-round fight. Like if you look at amateurs, 3-round fights, they're going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So I would love to see it. We'll see what happens though.